We just finished with the 10 myths of incubation in part 1 of this two-part series, and we ended on the note that we wanted great flexibility in helping new, growing, and reinventing businesses. We set up a community-based not-for-profit corporation so that we could incubate without limitations for businesses of all types. We're in southeast Kansas. Montgomery County has a population of around 32,500. We're 70 to 80 miles north of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the 4 primary cities in Montgomery County are Independence, Coffeyville, Cherryvale, and Caney. And I've been working on the Successful Entrepreneur Program since 2006 at Independence Community College. In 2009, the city had a brainstorming session and decided that Independence would like to have incubation. We had a president then, Daniel Bain, and he suggested that we use the Successful Entrepreneur Program to set up incubation in Independence. We had committee meetings following for about a year, and one of the things that kept coming up in the committee meetings was who will be responsible. We have the college, we have the Chamber of Commerce, and we have Main Street that all have other objectives, and these other organizations would maybe not be able to totally focus on incubation and helping businesses in the way that we wanted to. So we created this nonprofit entity called Innovative Business Resource Center with the sole purpose to help businesses, and we were created in conjunction with Independence Community College, and we set about to determine how to make this organization viable in the long run. We took a long time, excruciating time, to put together a governance policy. And there were several people involved that wondered if we would ever get to actually helping businesses, but we have. And was this effort necessary? We think it was. We try to use this governance in all aspects of how the organization will operate. And one of the key features of how this was set up is that Independence Community College allows me to facilitate IBRC activities. We got our tax-exempt status fairly soon after we started. We had a local attorney that volunteered and filed the 501c3 status for us with the IRS. And this gives us an opportunity to get our own funding in the future from tax-deductible contributions. We set up incubation with multiple property owners so that we could always use the best location available, that our clients would never have to move unless they're growing so much that they need to move because of their own business model. Typically, we provide a rent incentive, a ramp up, so to speak, over the first 1 to 2 years, and we provide a few other incentives from other service providers, and we would like to expand on that. But the big thing we do is provide mentorship and education. To become an incubation client, the clients must have a business plan that demonstrates how they're going to do the business. They must demonstrate that they have a financial tracking system in place so that they can tell on a very timely basis how they're doing. They have to agree to work with one of our mentors, and they have to demonstrate how they're going to build a winning team that will make their customers glad that they came to do business with them. This is what the incubation poster looks like that we put in available properties. So this can go in the window side by side with the owner's regular for rent sign. Nothing in the agreement with us precludes the owner from renting to anybody they want, or even a full price renter. It just indicates that the building is part of the incubation program, and it gives us another property to put on our list so that when we have an incubation client ready to go, that we've got a whole list of properties we can show them to choose from. These are 3 of the buildings that we're working with right now. In the upper left is the J.C. Penney building, which the first thing that we did with that was take the aluminum metal facade off that JCPenney put on all their buildings in the 80s. To the right of that is the International Mall, which has been just redone, and it mostly was just fixed up. There was no big structural changes or no facades to take off on that or anything. And then the one in the lower left, you can't really see the building very well, but the Historic Booth Theater Foundation in town has some storefronts that are hooked onto the main theater building, and so that's where this one is. This is just a picture of some of our incubation clients from the past. One of the first lessons that we learned was we say use a carrot instead of a stick, and the stick doesn't really work. One of our first clients didn't have her business plan done, and so she went ahead. We let her go ahead and go in and get the rent incentive, and then she was supposed to finish her business plan. So in the lower left corner is me trying to pull on the client to get the business plan done, and that didn't work very well. So now what we do is sometimes we'll let clients into a property before they have the business plan done, but we don't give them the rent incentive until they've got it all done. So we've tried to turn that into an incentive carrot rather than the promise to get the business plan done later. So we allow each property owner to specify their own incentives, and that makes it market-based. And we think this process won't yield a high volume of clients, but viable clients of good quality, and eventually will grow in numbers too. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions about how we do this or anything that you've seen in this video, please feel free to contact me at the email address or phone number that you see on the screen.